What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, coming back to Sleep Token. Yes, indeed, Sleep Token fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-boobidi-bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Charles B, and this is actually one of Charles B's 3 prioritized requests for the month of November for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Charles. Hope you enjoy the show, man. Charles wanted to see me react to this. It is Sleep Token with a tune called High Water. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. As always, Charles has provided me with an intro to read to all of you, so here we go. Your last Sleep Token reaction was to Telemeres. As I said in that intro, what follows right after that track in the This Place Will Become Your Tomb album is this one, High Water. Mirroring the treatment of Telemeres and Gods from Sundowning, Sleep Token has yet to play High Water in a live setting. Truthfully, High Water is not one of the most streamed tracks from This Place Will Become Your Tomb, but many fans, including yours truly, consider it to be one of their most underrated and overlooked pieces. After you listen to High Water, let's see if you feel that it deserves to make its way into Sleep Token's concert lineup one day. Okay, well, we'll see. Let's see, this was posted by Sleep Token, surprise, surprise, and the video has 1.6 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Sleep Token, High Water Visualizer. They really like making their visualizers, don't they? I get it. I get it. Super cheap, super inexpensive to make. So yeah, I understand. I totally get it. I find it amusing that, you know, they kind of rely on their visualizers. So it is what it is. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
For the time being, I will still avoid my own questions, and we both bury that history deep. But you know, I can hold my breath forever. For the time being, you are still a perfect reminder of what all of these scars on my arms are for. If I can hold myself together,
I was about to say, it feels like before it kicked in, I'll show you where. Hold on, give me. Right here. When you heard the notation stop and they just sustained, I was like, I'll bet you anything this is where they're gonna kick in with all of the other instrumentation. Okay, maybe not all. They might be saving some other instrumentation, some other voicings in the reserves for later in the song. But I was like, if nothing else, this is where they're gonna bring the drums in. If nothing else, and they brought a little bit more than that. But this would be the perfect place to do it because they're sustaining and holding that one note. And then I felt the swell start to happen. I'm like, I'll bet you anything. Here come the drums. Yep. Feel the growth. Yep. Okay. I knew it. I'm so glad I caught on to that. caught on to something at about, I'll say about the 2:10, 2:15 mark. I caught on to something. And I kept waiting for what happened at the end. I kept waiting for that to happen earlier in the song to confirm my suspicions. And I have a feeling my suspicions have been confirmed. I'll explain what I mean in the review. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Sleep Token with High Water. This was a request from Charles B. And this was actually one of Charles B's 3 prioritized requests for the month of November for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Charles. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. Okay. I was able to compress most of my comments down just into a couple of things. There's 2 main points that I want to talk about. And let's get to those points because they're going to pretty much explain how I have the score here that I have. So let's get to that score. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.9. Yep, 7.9. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 7.9. What does that mean? Well, a 7.9 would translate to a really good skill rating. So overall, I think this was a really good song. It was a really, really good song. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. So there you go. A 7.9, a really, really good score, skill rating, 4 to 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? Haha, so glad you asked. Okay, first things first. My suspicions. I had a suspicion, like I said, about the 2:10, 2:15 mark. I started to kind of get this feeling like I was onto something. And I wasn't 100% sure until we got to the very end of the song and the last 2 measures. I know people are going, what do you mean 2 measures? Hear me out. It wasn't until we heard that I was like, okay, now I know why I have this feeling. I kept waiting for what happened at the very end to happen somewhere else in the middle of the song so I could really kind of lock into it. It's a shame it happened at the very end, but at least it happened. My suspicion was this. I know most people are going to be hearing this song and they're going to be thinking the tempo is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but here's the thing. I was feeling more of a halftime. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. That's where I felt the tempo was really at. We were at a slow tempo on this. But here's the thing. It was a slow tempo, yes, but the entire song was done in a double time feel for that. And the reason I'm saying that is look at what happened at the end. When it cut off, right? If you're counting at the slower tempo, you get exactly a 2 measure cutoff. Now, I know if they were going, well, what's the big deal about that? We could go at, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and make it a 4 measure cutoff. You're right, you could. You absolutely could. But basing it off of Sleep Token's history when it comes to fades, they usually do a 2 measure fade whenever they do fade. It doesn't fade out for 4 usually. Now they have, but if you look at their history from what I've heard, it's usually based on a 2 measure fade. And looking at that tempo of 1, 2, 3, 4, that was a 2 measure fade. So I'm basing it off of that assumption. Now, am I right? I don't know. I don't know if I'm correct or not, but that's how it feels to me. And you're looking at what happens through a number of places within the song, especially at the beginning, before everything kicks in. If you go back and listen to it and really equate it out to having it, because I'm going to be honest with you, when I was listening to the beginning, I was listening it to that tempo of 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and trying to imagine the snare on. We didn't have the snare, but try to imagine the snare on 3. Okay, Well, that could work too, but if you slow it down to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, it feels more accented. It feels like each beginning of each measure it feels heavier with that downbeat. And mostly because that's where the phrasing of the vocals kick in. Vocals start on the 1, 2, 3, 4, and they carry on into the next phrase. 3, 4, and then there's a rest and another rest, and then we come back in on the downbeat of 1. It's not mid-phrase. So I don't know. Something just tells me that this is the tempo. Here, here, here. And everything else is kind of played at like a double time feel based on that tempo. Here. I don't know. Like I said, am I right? I don't know. I don't know if I'm right or not, but that's how it feels to me. I thought that was actually really cool. I thought that was actually very smart. Now going back to Charles's intro. According to Charles, this song is, in his opinion, and a lot of other Token fans' opinions, this song is very underrated, and it hasn't been played live yet. Now, here's the thing, kind of like Gods hasn't been played in a live setting yet. Now, I did say during the Gods reaction that Gods needs to be played live. It absolutely does, okay? Without question. I think Gods is very underrated, and I think Gods needs to make its way onto their set list, like, immediately. Put it about, like, the halfway to 2/3 mark somewhere to wake the crowd back up again. Now, when it comes to this song, Charles, I agree with you to a point. I'll see you halfway, okay? Is this song underrated? I could absolutely see this song being underrated, without question. There's some really nice things happening in this song. The staggered entrances of voicings, I like that. The growth, I like that. It kind of following the quote-unquote blueprint for Sleep Token songs, although it's hard to give Sleep Token a blueprint. But there's a good number of their songs that have followed this format of, you know, piano and vocal intro, or piano and, or vocal to keyboard intro, and then we bring in the drums, and then the drums lay out, and then everybody comes in about, you know, 2/3 of the way through the song. Everybody slams in all at once. That happens in a number of songs from Sleep Token. Okay, let's be honest. And this song absolutely follows suit. But they do it very well in here, and I do like the staggered entrances. I like the growth. Sometimes the growth would be a little longer than others. I remember that, I think it was the last one right before everybody kicked in. I was like, oh, I feel growth, and then literally, bam, there it was. So the growth was short. It was like a measure long. And there are other parts where the song, in the song, where the growth is like 8 measures long. So we have some variation in there. And we have some nice play with dynamics. I like that. I agree this song could be viewed as underrated. I absolutely agree with that. Having said that, I do not agree with this being in a live setting. I don't see the song doing well live. Here's my reasoning why. This song will get lost in the mix. You can literally put this song, okay, there's only 2 places you can't put this song. You can't put it as your first song. You can't put it as your last song. It would not make sense. You want a song that really stands out, not their biggest hit or hits. You don't want to take, you know, one of their the biggest hit they've ever written and put that as your opener or your closer. You don't want to do that. You want to save the big hits for like midway, 2/3. That's what you really want to do. This song though, I see this song getting lost in the set list. I really do. This will be one of those songs that people will not remember them playing. Okay, let's say Sleep Token does a 15 song set list. Okay, let's just use the number 15, okay? If they do a 15 song set list, you could put this anywhere in it. You could put it in you could put it as the 3rd song. You could put it as the 4th song. You could put it as the 7th song. You could put it as the 9th song. You could put it as the 13th song. You could put it as the 8th, no, I already said 8th. You could put the song as the 7th song. You could put the song as, the 13th song. You could put the song in a number of places. But don't put it as first and don't put it as last. But here's the problem. When people go to concerts, they're going to remember the show as a whole, yes, but they're not going to remember every single song on its own within the set list. Most people will remember, if they're big fans of the band, they will remember out of a 15-song set list, they'll remember between 10 to 12 songs. But there's going to be those 3 songs that they just, I don't remember what I remember they played this, but I know there were other songs in there. I just don't remember which ones they were. This is going to be one of those, okay? It's not, there's nothing about the song that really stands out on its own. And I hate to use the word generic, but it kind of is a generic sounding Sleep Token song. That's not to say it's bad. It's not bad. It holds up. It absolutely holds up. And on its own, it stands up to the Sleep Token stamp of approval. Okay, it absolutely gets that stamp. It has all the qualities of a good Sleep Token song, but therein lies the problem. Good Sleep Token song, not amazing, not outstanding, not great. Underrated, yes, I will agree with that statement, Charles. I absolutely do. I do feel like this song could be mislabeled as a lost in the mix song. I could absolutely see that, and I do feel this song deserves a little more credit than that. Sure, but in a live setting, I just don't think the song would do well. I don't. It kicks in towards the end with some energy, but I don't know. Maybe it just depends on where in the set list it would go. Okay, if I were creating the set list, I would put this somewhere toward the beginning, because people have a tendency to remember songs in a 15-song set list. People have a tendency to remember songs 1, 2, and 3. Doesn't matter what songs they are. It doesn't matter what titles they are, but they will always remember the first 3 songs, and they will always remember the last 2 songs. So there's a third of the set list that they will remember. And then they will remember the hits, their favorites. And this song, I don't know if it would be a favorite. If I were making the set list, I would put this not as the first. I might put this as the 3rd song. It might survive there. But I don't know if I would take the chance, though. I mean, but I'm not Vessel, and I'm not 2. So I don't know what their thinking is. I don't know what their thought process is for creating set lists. But I don't think I would put, if it were me, would I put this in a set list? No, I would not. I don't, not that I don't appreciate the song. I did enjoy the song, yes, but it would get lost in the shuffle, I have a feeling. So I just, no. Underrated, yes. Set list, no. Long story short. So there you go. A 7.9. I think it absolutely deserves that score. And I know people are in closing, and people are going to, I can hear people in the comments now. Well, if you gave it a 7.9, what stopped it from getting to an 8.1? I just didn't feel like the song was great. I don't feel the greatness within the song. It's a really good song by Sleep Token standards. Yes, I think it's a really good song. It's up there in the really good. I don't see myself, I don't feel comfortable saying great. There are other songs from Sleep Token that I have no problem saying with that. First one that comes to mind, God, good Lord, that was a great tune. No, but I just don't feel comfortable saying great, but it's up there, and that's why I'm giving it the 7.9. So that's where we're at, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We got a 7.9, which is a really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.